The news that's coming in at the moment, additional 25% tariffs all set to kick in from today. India is locked and loaded to counter these tariffs. At about 9:30 today, we will see the tariff bomb dropping on India. Modi government has given out an assurance they are standing with the Indian farmers. In fact, just 24 hours ago, we heard the Prime Minister Narendra Modi speak about the fact that there are certain forces that do not want the government to be standing with the farmers. But that is not what the government will do. Government is very, very clear. It will be standing with the Indian farmers. In fact, America first. That's what you're seeing on your screens. It's the US President Donald Trump. He's posted a picture which says America first. My colleague Karishma Sodani is now joining me on the story. Karishma, the government is locked and loaded. We understand spate of meetings have already taken place between the top officials, the exporters and various other industries, making sure that this additional 25% tariff does not hit the industry hard.
Well, Aishwarya, this is going to be a tricky situation for us because we're seeing a lot of exporters report that they have to shut down their businesses, at least on a temporary basis. We've heard about textiles, apparel, leather industry, and particularly shrimp industry from South, especially Andhra Pradesh, which is our strong coalition partner, complain of the fact that 50% tariffs derails their current reach in terms of exports. While this is an ongoing, real, present concern, the PMO has been trying to work out some measures in order to give them some kind of temporary relief. Now, the big question is, do we have the appetite to kind of absorb this at least for a few months? Sources say that maybe a month or two, but this cannot go on forever, and we're still hopeful that if a bilateral trade agreement is signed, say by October or November around Diwali, then it will ease the pressure that's currently existing. So the government is working, trying to draw metrics, dynamics in order to support the exporters and also maintain its stance that it's not going to budge on its sensitive sectors.
Karishma, please stay on with me. We've got some more news coming in. It's the additional 25% tariff that India is looking at the moment. Donald Trump's America First poster before the tariffs kick in. Donald Trump poses with an oil barrel. In this poster, that's what you are seeing on your screens at the moment. Donald Trump's oil barrel poster. Is it a dig at the India-Russia oil deal? India is locked and loaded, all set to counter these tariffs. It's at about 9:30 that we will see the tariff bomb dropping on India. The government has given out an assurance that they are standing with the farmers. Spate of meetings have taken place over the past few days. The government is very keenly looking at what to do next. Now, it's in tandem that we are seeing the government moving on one side, not bucking down. That's something that India has given out the message to United States of America, that we will not be cowing down, we will not be bowing down. On the other side, continuous conversations are happening between the industry and the government. What is it that the industry needs? What will be the short-term impact of the tariff? What will be the long-term impact of the tariff? That's something that at the moment is under discussion between the industry. Industries across various sectors are now looking at what to do next. Modi government has given out an assurance. You just heard the Prime Minister 24 hours ago saying that they are standing unitedly behind the farmers. My colleague Karishma still with me on the story. Karishma, it's the India-Russia oil deal. Time and again we have seen how the President Donald Trump pointing fingers and saying that India needs to stop buying oil from Russia. The government says that if you are keeping America first, we also need to keep India first.
Well, absolutely. In fact, this has been for quite some time that Prime Minister Modi and Trade Minister Piyush Goyal has been continuously sharing of the fact that we cannot do away with what's important to us. Now, in return, if there has been, say, concerns on targeting us with our dependence on Russian oil, then Aishwarya, let's not forget that we were asked by the US a few years back during the COVID to actually buy Russian oil in order to maintain the crude oil prices. So currently what is happening is a clash of egos in order to indirectly say it's a pressure tactic to try and convince us to do something that we do not have the scope of doing because it will let our domestic industries down. And if we look on a geopolitical scale, then none of the countries, especially in the Asia Pacific region, have taken such a big risk that downsides their own sensitive sectors. Look at Japan. They've been trying to negotiate. They are still absorbing a certain sector of tariffs, but they've not given up on their say on electronics. Look at China. It's been the front runner with, in fact, we are following the China way. China also underwent a lot of scrutiny by the US in the beginning, but right now, to be honest, if we have to address the elephant in the room, it is China which has been the unsung hero out of this whole situation. So India is following a similar path. We're not going to give up on what's important to us, but we're not being arrogant and egoistic about the fact that we don't want to do a trade deal. Minister of External Affairs has also reiterated that we are in conversation with the US. We are willing to do a trade deal, but a trade deal needs to be a two-side efforts and not a lopsided win.
Thank you, Karishma, giving us all those details. As my colleague also pointed out, that this cannot be a lopsided win only for the United States of America. It's not just India. Across the globe, we are seeing countries pushing back and also keeping their interest above this interest of the United States of America.